Welcome to the breakdown. I'm your host, Diane Rembert, avid reader, award-winning literary blogger, and the founder of Diamond's Literary World, which is my footprint in the literary industry. Today, I want to talk to you about a New York Times bestseller that has recently broke records on BET as a two-night biopic. I'm talking about none other than Every Little Step, My Story by Bobby Brown with Nick Childs. Let me just begin by saying that I watched the biopic first. I was very, very pleased with the biopic. I thought it was tastefully done. I learned a lot about Bobby. And at that point, I knew that this book that I had on my Kindle for probably over a year needed to be read by me so that I could compare and come and talk to you guys. Well, let me just say that I was so pleasantly surprised by the biography. Of course, you can't fit, I think it's 300 and maybe 26 pages into 4 hours. There's just no way. Because you have to act out scenes and things like that. And with commercials, it's probably 3 hours. So, I went into it not expecting to gain too much more than I had already got from the biopic. Let me just say, I was so wrong. I was pleasantly surprised by Bobby's transparency. Here we have a kid that grew up in Orchard Projects in Boston, Mass. Who, he came from a loving family, parents, grandparents, siblings. He went on to, he was just being a kid, but he went on to be, the founder of New Edition. He then went at 17, received the opportunity to go solo, had an outstanding run as a solo artist, and then he married the voice, Miss Whitney Elizabeth Houston. He talks about, when he was a solo artist, even in New Edition, how he bedded so many women. Women was not an issue for Bobby, while he was on the road. Even at one point, he was dating Whitney. He was dating several other people, one of which he claims to be Janet Jackson. Also, his kid's mother, Kim. But he settled down into a married lifestyle. Throughout the book, let me just say this. Bobby is a father to his children. And all of his children have come forward and said he is a father to his children. He suffered addictions. There were a few. And many people point the finger at Bobby. But Bobby tells you the things that he struggled with prior to his very, very publicized marriage. And then he tells you things that he suffered with while he was married. Very open, very transparent. He tells you about the issues he had with his siblings, his children's mothers. He told it. I say all. There may be more to tell. I don't know. He tells about how he met his current wife, Alicia, however many years ago. and how they developed a friendship. I was just so pleasantly surprised. Like, I just kept turning. In the beginning, I was just like, okay, it's not that much different from the biopic, but it really was. I felt like you could almost feel his pain. You could feel the things that he was going through when it pertained to, you know, his children, especially Bobby Christina, and the things that she was going through. The pain of losing parents. And I've been there, so I felt it. I was right there with him. Um, Let me just say, my hat is off to Bobby and co-author Nick Childs. I'm going to tell you why. Many times we read a book, a biography, and you hear the the celebrity's point of view, or the person who you're reading about, you read their point of view. In this particular book, not only did we hear what Bobby had to say, but if he was talking about a particular person, he talked about his relationship with Ralph Tresvant. Then they brought in Ralph's point of view. He talked about his relationship with his oldest son's mother, Landon's mother. They brought in her point of view. They talked about his relationship with his children. We heard from Landon. We heard from LaPrincia. They talked about his relationship with Alicia. We heard from Alicia. People like Babyface. They came in, his older brother Tommy. They came in and said what it was that needed to be said to bring his point of view further into view. So, I really, really like that about this book, and I clearly see why it became a New York Times bestseller. Not to mention that Bobby is, back in my day, Bobby was the it man, Don't Be Cruel. He tells you how his songs came about, Mr. Prerogative, all of that, He tells you about it. And so he was very popular then, and people wanted to know more about Bobby. So he's very popular. Now, I'm going to tell you, after watching the biopic, reading the biography, like, I really want to see Bobby perform now. I've seen Belle Biv DeVoe, I've seen Johnny Gill, never seen Ralph, I've never seen Bobby, and now I really want to see Bobby in action. And so, for all of you young ladies out there who have one up on me, I give it to you. But anyway, I really recommend this book to you, especially if you're into biographies. You will learn a lot. It's fast paced. So I highly recommend that you go and pick this book up. I gave it 4 stars. I just, there was at one point, there were just some things that, I don't know, I thought may have been a little much. But anywho, that's just me. I enjoyed the book. Please go and pick it up if you haven't already. If you have, let me know your thoughts. And if you would like to pick up a copy of Every Little Step, it's on Amazon, probably at your local bookstores as well too, because like I said, it kind of revamped the biopic, kind of revamped the book. So, and I'm saying this to you now. We need to be prepared. We're going to see more biographies be turned into biopics, and I'm here for it. I just wish that I was in the boardroom, to select, okay, this one is next. Okay, let's read this one and see if it deserves a biopic. Like, I wish I was there, front and center. But look, just watch what I tell you. We're going to see many more. And like I said, it broke record numbers with the 2-night premiere of Being Bobby Brown. So, stay tuned. Thank you guys for watching the video. And also, this will be another episode of my podcast, because I'm going to actually read an excerpt from the biography, on the podcast. And so therefore, if you follow me on the podcast, stay tuned for the link that I will share with you. Until next time, thank you guys so much for taking your time to watch the video. Thank you so much for telling a friend and for subscribing to the channel. Until next time, happy reading and be blessed.